the absolute best trick Plague God has to offer.
It's party time!
Getting to tier 5 settlements with Nurgle has never been easier or faster ever before. The benefits of having access to your tier 5 settlements is having earlier access to your highest tiers of units, having a better economy money-wise and also infection-wise, and also pumping up the number of your hero capacity so you can have more heroes in your armies and also on the campaign map to make your campaign even stronger. So basically, it all comes down to this little mechanic that Nurgle and one other faction has access to, and that is getting an extra population surplus whenever you capture a new settlement. You would get that extra population surplus whenever you capture a new settlement, but you would also get it whenever you colonize a ruin, which makes this mechanic exploitable. So instead of waiting for your growth to accumulate over time to give you population surplus or capturing new settlements, because sometimes you might already own all of the settlements in a province, you could just abandon and then recolonize that settlement the turn after, so you would get one population surplus instantly, and you can keep doing this until you accumulate population surplus just enough for your major settlements to be upgraded to the next levels. In order to do all of this, first of all, you need to grab yourselves the fattening seeds, which is going to take exactly 27 turns to research, but worry not, there are means to reduce the amount of turns it's going to take you to research this. The Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle can steal technology from other faction settlements, and at the base level you can steal 20% technology. There is a skill point that you can increase the technology that you steal by 10% more. If you carry out sufficient amount of stealing technology, you can get an additional 5% from this trait, and in total you can steal 35% technology with your Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle. And bonus point, if you're playing as Tamarkon, the Beastman Chieftain can also steal technology, so you can have him steal technology as well to accelerate your research time even further. If you want to take this trick to the next level, you would want to use none other than Epidemius, because Epidemius has a skill point that gives him an additional 1 population surplus whenever you capture a new settlement, on top of the one you would already get from the fattening seeds. So whenever you capture a new settlement with Epidemius, you get 2 extra population surplus. And let me show you guys how I actually managed to get 2 different tier 5 settlements as Tamarkon step by step on turn 41. So in this example, if you're playing as Tamarkon, since he's the strongest Nurgle faction both militarily and also economically, and he can accumulate a lot of money and also a lot of settlements very early on into your campaigns, which allows you to do this trick in as many settlements as early as you want to. So first thing first, you would want to kill the Norscan faction that you start at war with, and also Kolek. After you capture the first minor settlement off of the Norscans, you should recruit 1 lord and keep recruiting lords until you have 4 armies, including Tamarkon. Preferably the lords you recruit should be from different lord types. Have these 4 armies reinforce each other so you can have a chance of getting the Nurglish mutant, which is going to increase your relationship with other Nurgle factions, and you would only get it by reinforcing another Nurgle army. All of the extra positive relationships you're getting with Nurgle factions is going to be useful when you would want to confederate Epidemius and also Kugath. After you finish off Kolek and the Norscans, you would want to go down south, deal with the minor Greenskin faction, and then give their 2 settlements away to Grimgor and get a treaty and some money out of him for every one of those settlements. After securing your southern border, now you can go back up north to deal with Archaon and his Norscan vassal, and the next objective would be Boris Orsis. Kislev is actually a very strong enemy for Nurgle, especially early game, so you have to be very careful when dealing with him. Finishing him off means that you're going to get your hands on your first 4 settlement province. After Boris Orsis, you can either befriend Demon Prince or kill him off, which is what I did to get his lands, and also become the neighbor of Epidemius, which allows me to do some shenanigans with him. Be sure to develop your infrastructure as fast and as efficient as possible. Always build up the growth building first, and after that build your money making buildings to inject some money into your economy, because you need a lot of money to actually do this trick as early as possible. So you better start printing some cash by fighting battles and have a fairly decent economy. One easy way to get money is trading settlements. Be sure to skip this part if you don't like exploits. You can basically do this with any faction, but doing this with other factions that are the same race is usually going to be more effective. I'm going to do this with Epidemius. This is a little bit RNG, but Epidemius sometimes attacks another faction outside of his starting province, and as long as he captures 1 settlement, what you can do is you can capture the other settlements within that province, and the chances are, since we're doing this early game, all of the settlements within that province are probably going to be tier 1 or tier 2, so this should have around the same values, so trading your settlements for their settlements shouldn't be a problem. And always try to go for the 2 settlements that are going to give you the most amount of opinion, so you can squeeze as much money out of them. Usually after the first or the second time you squeeze money out of them, they're going to be completely broke, and they are only going to give you 2 to 3k max every time you do this. So let's say you do this 50 different times, and if on average each time is going to give you 2k, you're going to get around 100,000 coins, and on top of that, extra 2,000 positive relationship with epidemias. But since this is an exploit, you're welcome to not do this. You can just fight battles and have a really great economy to have enough money to do this trick. Patch 5.1 has brought a really important change for Nurgle. Now instead of 3 population surplus, you only need 2 population surplus to upgrade your minor settlements from level 2 to level 3, which allows you to build up even more growth to upgrade your major settlements to level 3 a lot more faster. By the start of turn 27 or earlier, if you had better research rate, when the fattening seeds finishes, you should have the 2 major settlements of your first 2 provinces at level 3 and accumulated around 3 population surplus if you have built up your settlements and the growth buildings as fast as possible. If the growth from the growth building alone wasn't enough, there are many other ways to get more growth as Nurgle. First one being your commandment, the Plague God's Nursery, which gives you 20 growth in the local province, and you can make it even better by researching the fever incubation for extra 10 growth on top of the 20. There's also another tech, carcinogenic, which gives extra 15 growth faction wide. Every single lord and legendary lord for Nurgle has access to a skill point called pestilential spawning, which can give up to 36 extra growth in the local province. The plagues of Nurgle have a symptom that gives 25 growth, and you can make it even better by getting the blessed version of it, which gives 50 growth. And the turn before you finish up the fattening seeds, you should abandon a minor settlement in each of those provinces. So by the start of turn 27, you can actually colonize each one of those ruined minor settlements to get an additional population surplus, to get you to 4 population surplus in both of those provinces, which allows you to upgrade both of those major settlements to level 4. And that is going to take you exactly 6 turns. In those 6 turns, you will have enough time to get to 5 population surplus by abandoning and then recolonizing the ruined settlement the turn after. My advice would be waiting for the first population surplus. If your growth rate is high, you can get to the first population surplus in a single turn. Obviously, you're saving 2,500 coins by doing this trick one less time. And then you will use the next 5 turns to accumulate 4 more population surplus by abandoning and then recolonizing that abandoned settlement the turn after. And by the time your settlement is fully upgraded to tier 4, you will have enough population surplus to upgrade it to tier 5. You just need 14,000 coins and exactly 7 turns to finish upgrading it to tier 5. And in this example, I had 2 tier 5 settlements by turn 41. Whenever you finish building up your level 3 major settlements, always build up those advanced military buildings. So by the time you have upgraded them to tier 5, these advanced military buildings have already gone through a couple of cycles, which will give you those high tier units a lot more faster. The only downside to this technique is the fact that you need a lot of money, but in my humble opinion, it is definitely worth it, because on the long run, it's going to give you access to better and high tier units, better economy, and also more heroes. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, don't forget to like this video and also subscribe for more content like this. Since you've gotten this far into the video, don't forget to comment your favorite trick in Total War Warhammer 3 down below. To learn the top 10 things that I wish I knew earlier before mastering Warhammer 3, you can click on this video. This is PZA Total War, and I'm gonna see you guys later.